Obviously, we have a lot of work to do and a lot of investigators that are here working. I'll try to address a couple of them here in just a second. One thing that I wanted to briefly give you, I've had numerous emails of wanting to know who all's working on this case. There's a long list of law enforcement across the nation that's been working on this case. We will send that out to you. Colorado Department of Corrections, obviously, everybody that we introduced here, the Texas Rangers, the Crime Lab, DPS Crime Lab, FBI, ATF, and there's a long list. The Office of Inspector General in Texas. So it's a good collaborative effort across the state of Texas and Colorado by a number of agencies that are all pitching in to compare information. We'll take a few questions and try to answer what we can. Yes.
Do we know where he was going, where the suspect was heading, or why he was in Texas?
We have no idea at this time why he was in Texas. We're hoping with the forensic review of his vehicle and the searching of the vehicle, we'll learn more at that point. Yes, sir, Keith.
David, I understand the man was guilty of 2 murders in Colorado. What was the second one?
I'm not sure. I have not personally seen his criminal history. I do know that he has a lengthy criminal history and has been in the Colorado Department of Corrections off and on. He is 28 years old.
What information can you release that possibly connects this shooter with the 2 murders in Colorado?
His question, if you didn't hear, what can we release that connects this shooter here in Texas with Colorado? Right now, as I said a second ago, the only thing that we have that connects it to Colorado is obviously the identity of Mr. Ebel being in Colorado, the car with the license plates from Colorado. Until we do trace evidence, until we look at biological evidence, DNA, and it won't be decided if he's related until we get those tests back.
Have you been able to look at any sort of ballistics, in any of the cases yet, and compare them?
We have not looked at the ballistics as of yet. I will tell you that it's ongoing with the ATF, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms.
A question for Mr. Johnson. There's been a lot of discussion, if you could step to the mic, I appreciate it. There's been a lot of discussion about white supremacist groups, whether there are connections, which groups, connection to the prisons and that he was in. I know that you're probably still looking into all that information. What can you tell us about the threat in Colorado from these white supremacist groups, whether or not this gentleman is connected?
Well, I really can't speak to that in any fashion as it relates to the murder of Mr. Clements. You know, this is something that's going to have to be looked at down the road, and we're going to have to take a look at and see where we're at. If your question is whether or not we were aware of any threat ahead of time, no, we were not.
Can you comment on the threats presented by white supremacist groups in Colorado and the connection to the prisons?
No, I really can't at this point, so.
Sir, can you address whether or not you feel like he was, or this group, the white supremacist group, was on the radar of investigators with regarding the murder of Mr. Clements?
I don't believe none of that's been decided yet, and obviously still an ongoing investigation. And that would be on the Colorado part. We will see what's inside the vehicle and see if there's anything that relates to that. And there's a lot of background investigation that we do on all cases. And obviously this is an ongoing case and a relatively on the Texas side of things. So we will come up with not only a background investigation with Colorado, we'll also come up from Texas and try to figure out why he was here, what his relationship was, if there was any with any type of prison, a gang or anything like that. So we'll have that. Just a second, I'll grab that.
Several of the department's officers came in contact with the man throughout the day. I think there are reports that he yelled at them at some point. Do you know what specific exchanges were said? Did they threats outwards to law enforcement?
I do not know that. We will continue to interview any officers that were involved. Montague County Deputy will be interviewed after his health allows to be interviewed, as along with our officers and any DPS, and we'll try to find that out. And just I'll come back.
I understand that you have dash cam video from Decatur Police and also Montague. Have you been able to view the tapes and see, and can you describe what is on those tapes?
We have reviewed some of the dash cam video, not all. Obviously, what we've described is what's on the videos, and I will go ahead before all of you send me a million emails about whether you can have it or not. until we all review the dash cam video and we see and why it's an open investigation, we will not be releasing that dash cam video.
Several things that were seen in plain view in the car were reported through sources, including a Domino's pizza box, etc. Can you confirm anything that has been seen in plain view in the vehicle?
We can't confirm anything that's found inside the vehicle at this point.
Did the suspect have two different license plates, front and back?
That is correct, yes.
And then are you guys already investigating a possible connection or maybe similar MO with the Kaufman County murder of the District Attorney Mark Hatsey?
We have not had that discussion as of yet, no.
We've heard that the stop made in Montague County was routine, but can you discuss perhaps the nature of the stop, why he was pulled over?
The sheriff may want to, or I can, whichever you want.
At this point, we haven't been able to talk to Deputy Boyd a whole lot to determine why he made the stop. From looking at the dash cam, it's apparent to us that he stopped him just for a drug interdiction. I won't go into details of why he stopped him on that drug interdiction, but he was a drug interdiction deputy for us, and we believe that's why he made the stop.
Was he aware of the, be on the lookout for this boxy car with Colorado plates?
No, sir, Deputy Boyd had not been advised of that at the time, so it wasn't associated with that.
Sheriff, this seems like it's been an emotional event for you.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Paul's department's much like our department. We're not 4,000 officers strong, so the officers, the deputies, dispatchers, communication officers, EMS personnel, and everybody become your family and your friends. When one's hurt, we're all hurt, obviously, across the country in law enforcement, EMS as well. It does become, it's somebody you see every day, and obviously their hearts are tore up as everybody's is. So I can speak for Sheriff Cunningham that it is extremely emotional for all of them. Keith, did you have a question?
Dave, what time what day did the murder in Colorado take place?
I'm not exactly sure. On Tuesday.
Correct. Tuesday, March 19th.
All right, what were the circumstances around that?
We'll discuss any details pertaining to that murder. So.
Anybody have any other?
Johnson, I have a question for Director Johnson, if it's okay. At this point, do you believe that there's any threat outstanding to additional officials in Colorado after what you have investigated so far? And are you doing additional security for anyone at this point?
Absolutely, we are doing additional security. We are on a heightened alert. We don't have any reason to dismiss that at this point. As everybody has said, and as we've tried to convey, we are just down here looking at one aspect of information that was developed, one aspect of this investigation. But certainly, Colorado officials, we are taking extra precautions, and we'll continue to take those extra precautions until we can evaluate that further.
And is it legal to cut off his electronic monitoring bracelet on the 14th?
We won't speak to that aspect. That's an ongoing aspect of the criminal investigation.
Director, do you know if he meaning the suspect who was deceased, spent any time in the same jail as Glenn and Alfred Key?
I can't comment on that because I just don't know at this point. Obviously his time in the Colorado Department of Corrections will be, one slice of the criminal investigation that we'll have to take a look at.
Justin, can you talk about the Denver case as well? We've not seen any of the Denver detectives here. They have confirmed that they are here in Texas. Can you talk about the Nate Leon case?
No, it'd really be inappropriate for me to comment on their case. The only thing that I will say is, as you have said, they are here. They are very actively looking at their case and their investigation in the aspects that they have.
And why are they not here right now?
They're currently processing the vehicle and participating in that.
Director Johnson, can you tell us your reaction when you got the call from authorities here in Texas that this black Cadillac and the suspect was involved in this incident in Texas?
Well, it's probably very similar to everybody's, peaks and valleys, hopes, and then just, that dismay that everybody else feels, so.
Director, can you talk about the code underpinning any closer to motive?
No, I don't. I don't think it would be fair for us to comment. We have, as we've really tried to emphasize, there is a lot of work ahead of all of the law enforcement agencies.
Are there any protocols, any changes that are happening among local law enforcement as a result of any directives from the federal government, from the Department of Justice, as a result of the possible involvement of white supremacist gangs?
No, there's nothing. No, sir, at all. We'll go ahead, Keith.
Describe the extent of injuries to the local deputy.
We're very fortunate in number one, that no citizens were hurt, no deputies, after Mr. Deputy Boyd was unfortunately shot. We had numerous officers that were being shot at by the suspect. One of our patrol cars, possibly two, had been hit. Our lieutenant's vehicle was struck on the driver's side window, went through his window, and lodged right here beside his head, probably within inches of his head, so he's very lucky. Other patrol cars, Police Chief of Decatur's car was also struck, and we're very fortunate that no citizens were struck by any gunfire as well. One more question.
How do you feel about the way your deputies responded to the situation?
I think everybody in law enforcement, not only my deputies here at Wise County, but deputies across everywhere. The PD, the Highway Patrol, Montague County, Oklahoma authorities, Colorado authorities. It's just an overwhelmingly supportive in that anything we need done, any lead we need chased down, doesn't matter who it is, where it is, or what state it is, it's being done and done quickly, and it works very well. Yes.
To the law enforcement agency that notified Ebel's family, was there an opportunity to talk to them at all about the situation, what might have brought him down here? Did you glean any of those details?
I'm sure there was, but we don't have that with us. Our main concern at the present time, from the sheriff's office standpoint, was get his family notified of where his body is.
Is his family here now?
No.
Was Ebel working alone, or do you expect to make any other arrests?
We don't expect to make any right now. We'll see what trace evidence shows out of the car. We have a, yes.
Real quick for the Colorado officials, I'm just kind of walking out of here kind of left like, you guys have been processing the car for a long time. I just feel like I'm walking out of here without any kind of sense that any progress has been made on what's been done in that car. I just kind of find that, I know you can't talk about what's in the car, but you can at least say, hey, we're making some progress, we found some things that are interesting, or that are helping us, any way to.
Well, obviously, all of us here have seen the car. All of us here in law enforcement. We bring expert teams of forensic folks to come in and do the processing of the car. For us to discuss what's inside the car may jeopardize a case in Colorado or Texas. So at the present time, we want to keep what we've learned so far to an extent to our chest. And I'll assure all of you that when we feel comfortable, we can release what's in there. Honestly, we don't know everything they've got out of the car. We started processing that car this morning, and it takes multiple hours to get that done. So, no.
Obviously, this is a lucky break for Colorado, a lucky break for the Deputy Boyd. I mean, how do you feel about that? That just his instinct to pull this vehicle over has led to this.
And it is. I don't know if there's a good answer for that, other than Deputy Boyd was up doing his job on US 81 287, and he pulled the vehicle over, and it's very unfortunate that he was shot. One more question, then we need to go.
So even generally, what kind of a weapon people was using, just even basically?
Basically a handgun right now is all we can say. We will. Let me.
Still under extra security. They were saying that they were doing extra protection in Tom Clemens' neighborhood. Is there still a threat to residents there? Are they safe?
We're not aware of any threat still in the immediate area of Mr. Clemens. There is heightened security.
Is there still any kind of a search for an active shooter in Colorado, or is the Colorado investigation now focused right here in North Texas in terms of looking for a suspect in what has happened with crimes there?
I'm sorry, I didn't get your question.
Is the Colorado investigation now focused right here in North Texas for the search for answers to the two homicides that occurred there, or are you guys still looking for an active shooter in Colorado?
The investigation is not just here in Texas, it's still ongoing in Colorado. As I mentioned, we've been working on this over the last 60-plus hours. We have detectives that were working in Denver yesterday, working in Colorado Springs, obviously detectives working here in North Texas. So we're working everywhere. We're trying to get the answers. We're in that stage right now of gathering the facts.
Is there any other suspect description any other suspect at all, other than Mr. Ebel at this point?
I'm not even going to admit that Mr. Ebel is a suspect in Mr. Clement's murder. What we're saying is that there was a similar deal here. As you guys all recall, we had a box vehicle that was described initially in our investigation. It made reference to possibly a Lincoln or a Cadillac. And the color was given by some people that it was black. We had this incident happen 24 hours ago involving a black Cadillac with Colorado plates involving a shooting here in Texas. The Texas authorities made the notification to us in Colorado, and we immediately got on a plane and came down here, and we're checking into the matter. So we're gathering facts.
Just one quick question. Who is the Cadillac registered to?
I'm not going to elaborate about any specifics on the investigation.
I will follow up on one last thing that he asked me about the traffic stop. Deputy Boyd, after he was shot, he was actually able to talk on the radio to his dispatch center at Montague County Sheriff's Office, explained to him that he had been shot, and he described the suspect vehicle and told them they were southbound US 81 287. That led to exactly what you asked me, and basically Decatur PD, our folks at the Sheriff's Office and Highway Patrol hit 287 headed north, and it was good police work. I'll say this before we leave. We have a lot of work to do. Please be patient with all of us. It's an ongoing investigation, and it will take some time. We get in no hurry at the present time because we obviously want to do a good job. We will be sending out press releases from our office, Colorado, as well. And unless there's some huge event, we will not hold a press conference like we will here. We'll send out press releases, and we appreciate you coming. Thank you. Not during the investigation, no. Thank you all for coming.